Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the overall market. We did see some exciting things happen today on pretty much almost every single price chart, including XRP and HBAR. XRP not so much, just because the Bitcoin price chart has been a little bit rough. We're going to be addressing that, we're going to be talking about it, but nonetheless, we are seeing Bitcoin dominance drop, which is fairly good to see. We are seeing Ethereum kind of outperform Bitcoin now on the 24-hour and also even on the 7-day span, which this is what we want to see. I've mentioned this multiple times. We're going to be talking about that as well. Now, throughout the entire market, we are going to see some altcoins kind of switch bullish. We do see that with a few. Solana up 17.98%. We also see even ADA up about 7.45%, and a few other altcoins are kind of following through. Let's check out the 24-hour span. So we do see some altcoins up 19%, 18%. Again, Solana's up, ENJ's up 16%, Flow's up 14.94%. A lot of these altcoins are doing fairly well. Ren is actually up 13.59%, which is significant, and this is very good to see. Now, we are going to be talking about HBAR because HBAR has been making some significant moves as well. We also see Stellar's up 5.74%. HBAR has been kind of hitting a little bit of a wall in regards to its resistance points, but we're going to still address that and talk about it. But what I'm very excited about is this overall. So we are seeing the total 2, which is the altcoin market cap, really break out of that nice channel. This is that nice 1.3 trillion 786 channel, but mainly we have been already broken above that, but what we really broke above was the $1.367 trillion mark. Now, I've been discussing why the 786 point has been a fairly significant point to be back in, as that is a major channel of, demand going all the way back as far as May. Now, where we are at currently is very good, especially considering the fact that on the weekly, and I discussed this again, I've discussed this probably about 3 times in the last week, but overall, this is a massive cup and handle, and I still think that this is going to break out above 1.5 trillion. And by around the middle of November, we are going to be at least, somewhere around this level up here, almost retesting or I shouldn't even say retesting, I should say just testing $2 trillion, because that's the first time that we will see altcoins kind of range to that $2 trillion mark. Now, I'm very bullish on a lot of altcoins currently right now, and that is just because of the idea that if you're holding Bitcoin right now and you haven't taken some profit and poured it into some altcoins, maybe now would be the best decision to do so. I understand that a lot of people are talking about Bitcoin going to 100K plus. I'm just saying, it wouldn't be too bad. I've seen a few people actually rotating out of Bitcoin into Ethereum, for an example. That would be a fairly good decision. There's a lot better ROI, in my opinion. Just to give you guys an insight, a 2x right now from, Bitcoin's current price would roughly put it at around $130,000. A 2x on Ethereum would put it at $8,000, just so you guys know. So it's a lot easier to actually 2x or 3x or even whatever the case may be, x your initial investment. So right now, I am watching the total 2 closely though, because this looks extremely bullish, and we are seeing, like I said, Ethereum outperform Bitcoin currently. Bitcoin did hit some resistance up here. That resistance point, by the way, this is the breakout above the all-time high. We pretty much retested that all-time high perfectly. And the major point of resistance was around this point here at 67K, but mainly the resistance point here is actually $66,000. So right now, are we looking for a pullback, or what are we looking for? Well, if we do pull back from here, it wouldn't be anything too significant, to be completely honest with you. We are still ranging to go much higher on Bitcoin from my overall standpoint. Yeah, sure, we can see some volatile price action, but I think this week is still dead set on some bullish price action on Bitcoin. Will most likely range a little bit higher. I think if anything, if we do have a pullback, it will most likely be next week. We are seeing, the volume diminish a little bit here, not so much, too much momentum, but we've seen this in the past before we've gotten that nice influx of volume, which was what I was talking about over this week as well with this diminishing volume. I said, wait until we see some sort of nice volume pouring in on Bitcoin. We finally did see that, which was this major push up from around, now this is on the daily, so we've seen these push ups of volume going all the way back to about 57K before we pushed up all the way to about $63,000 before we hit resistance. Traded sideways here. We had that nice move from around $61,000 all the way up to 64K, and then again we had that nice little influx of about almost $4,000 roughly on Bitcoin, and those influxes will continue to do that as long as we kind of range on here. And I think that we are ready to go into a nice little parabolic shift on Bitcoin, which will essentially bring us to our topping point somewhere around the November-December timeframe, even stretching a little bit further into December around the halfway mark, somewhere around this point here on December 13th, all the way to around January 11th if we do follow through with a little bit of a lengthening cycle, if you will. It's not going to be too lengthened, but overall that would be the basis for that. So that's what I'm watching for currently. Overall, nothing really to report on with Bitcoin. We still have that nice little bit of moving ahead of us, especially like right now. But the only thing that is calling for concerns is just the overall diminishing volume. I haven't really checked out the RSI, but let's check out the RSI. So overall, the RSI is having that nice little pullback. Of course, is probably because of the diminished volume. Could we be retesting a little bit of a nice support zone? Yeah, sure. I mean, the major support would be around this point here at around 60,000 or 60.8K. That wouldn't be too bad of a retest or a major back test. So overall, I wouldn't be too concerned on the price action just so forth on Bitcoin. In fact, I think that the price action has been significant. The best part about all of this, Bitcoin movement is the fact that Bitcoin dominance was ranging lower at that time. And if you guys do remember from this last week, I said please watch for Bitcoin dominance to range a little bit lower while Bitcoin ranges higher. This is what allowed for a lot of altcoins, Ethereum included, to really kind of go on a little bit of a nice ride. We've seen HBAR actually top around. Now, just so you guys know, I do have this on the weekly just to show you guys this nice little formation of a almost cup and handle formation. But on the daily chart, we did see us kind of peak up above, my 40-cent point. But we did hit a little bit of a 41 point, well, it's 41.7 cents. We almost hit that 42-cent mark, which is major resistance. But the key resistance point here, from an overall standpoint, would be around the 40 centile range. That's where we pretty much topped out a little bit on. It is, there is quite a bit of resistance up there. So until we kind of really break and flip that into support and really kind of retest these higher, numbers up here around 46 cents, I really want to be back around this point up here, which is the previous all-time high, as you guys already know. But this is still in that nice consolidation pattern, so we will most likely trade within this until a little bit more time. But when the real party starts, which is where a lot of Bitcoin volume kind of flows out of it into altcoins, including even Ethereum, and then of course once Ethereum goes on its parabolic shift and a lot of that money flows into altcoins as well, that's where we really see the major moves on a lot of these charts. But I will say this, HBAR's Bitcoin chart has been fairly good, has been showing signs of strength. We pretty much bottomed out around this point down here at about 574 sats, which is fairly significant to say the least. This is also that little bit of a bottoming point going all the way back to September 4th before we had a little bit of a volatile price action before we retest it. This support up here at around 579, we retested that multiple times before we got that major breakout event. I think that in regards to a reversal happening on the Bitcoin price chart for HBAR, I think that it is, well past due. I've been talking about these reversals on a lot of these price charts for a fairly long time, including XLM as well as even XRP. And that's what we want to see. We want to see a reversal in strength on, for an example, on the inverted scale. Right? What does this look like is going to be happening, right? It looks like we are pretty much going to come down and retest a major point, but this is actually not coming down. This is going up in regards to strength on the Bitcoin pair. That is what we want to see. This is also going to allow a lot more movement on the USD pair as well. This will allow us to most likely retest somewhere between the 42 centile range and the 46 centile range. And then obviously we will retest the all-time high somewhere around the November to December timeframe. When we say November, December, it's just to make sure that we give it enough time to kind of consolidate. But don't don't think about it as, wow, I'm going to have to wait this much longer to go to 50 cents. It's not that, right? Because even on XRP, a lot of people are kind of disappointed in XRP's overall price movement, but I think a lot of people disregard the idea that going all the way back to 2017, 2018, right? We were trading in this long consolidation pattern starting all the way back in May, and this continued on until around December. Now, December was the fun part of this because we do see here from December 12th all the way to around, we could see January 4th. It was all massive uphill momentum from there. And yeah, sure, there was some sideways trading, a little bit of consolidation, but overall, in the span of 1 month, we went from 22 cents, 23, 22 cents, whatever you want to, say. It's mostly 22 cents on the bottoming point, but it went from 22 cents, and I know that on here it's showing, $3 and like 31 cents, but we actually went to $3.84 on some exchanges, all in the span of 1 month. So if you guys are getting disappointed or, impatient on a lot of price action, just know that a lot of this, pattern that we're seeing right now, including what we've been seeing in terms of consolidation going all the way back to April, right, is all playing perfectly well into that pattern, right? Because even going back to 2017 and 2018, check out XRP, right? We go to the date range and we go to XRP's overall price range from May. And this was over, this was roughly about 100, or not 100, 205 days of consolidation. And we've seen 100-day consolidations happen even on HBAR, right? But this was 205 days before it did this massive parabolic run. Now, just so you guys know, okay, let me zoom in real quick and let me show you guys something crazy about this chart. First off, it wasn't on that candle, so there we go, 206 days. Now, in regards to the price action movement, all in this time of pretty much trading sideways. If we go off of the lowest candle rate dating all the way back to July 16th, all right, and we go to the bottom to the top of this, and we did 2,518% of an increase in price. I just want you guys to understand that right now, currently, in regards to a consolidation pattern, we have been consolidating for about roughly 189 days. Now, the best part about this is, first off, let's go to the weekly chart, right? Let's go to the weekly chart. Let's go off that bottom candle. We already know that bottom candle is back in July, or it's actually in June, but it's also a July candle too. So roughly, if we did repeat that nice 2,518% off of this point here, we would be at, okay? And this is why I think a lot of people need to realize that this is why patience pays dividends. And I think that this is a fair conservative price target, because I see a lot of people, say a ton of other price targets, but, we would be at around the $13 plus range. I'm totally happy with that. Listen, I'm not going to get too greedy, but I'm just saying if we follow through with that same consolidation, the same percentage up, that is where we would see. That's where we would see XRP at around the $13 range. Now, again, this goes for a lot of altcoins. A lot of altcoins will consolidate. And just so you guys know, yeah, the Bitcoin price chart right now for XRP looks terrible. I would not be, saying, hey, the USD chart looks great. It looks like it's ready to jump out. But I do think that the XRP price chart looks very good, especially considering the fact that it has been consolidating for so long. So I would not be surprised with a major reversal on this chart. Just so you guys know, I always like to look at the inverted scale. What do you think is going to happen here? First off, it retested a major bottom here. Now I think we could look for a nice reversal. I think that this chart looks fairly bullish on that aspect. Do I think that it looks, bullish on the current price action? No, but still, it's not the idea of the current price action. It's what we could be seeing. Now, I will say this, on the weekly chart, right? Let's go back to 2017. So we do see here is April all the way leading up to around December. So the overall price, range here, or I should say the date range here in regards to this price action was pretty rough, right? In fact, we could see that this was 28 bars, which is 196 days. This goes back all the way to May 22nd of 2017, leading all the way up to around the December 4th date range before we had that nice parabolic shift. Now check out what is happening currently this year, right? We see that nice high that we made all the way back in around, all right, so it's actually here, right? This is around May. Now, right now, currently, from that point that we've been in consolidation for, okay, it's been roughly 21 bars, 147 days. This was 28, 196. I think we are closing the gap in on a major parabolic shift on the XRP price range. And I still think that we are going to follow through with that solid pattern. And I think a lot of these altcoins are kind of doing that same thing. HBAR, again, consolidation. Now, this has been consolidating. Now, this is on the daily, but this has been consolidating for about 35 days on the Bitcoin pair. On the HBAR USD pair, again, it's pretty much the same date range. This is about 35 days. These are moving together because these, perfectly, these are like peanut butter and jelly. If the Bitcoin price chart looks, bearish, while the USD chart looks bullish, expect some bearish price action on the USD pair. But right now, these are in consolidation, similar to how most altcoins are. But right now, we are seeing a lot of altcoins kind of break out due to the fact that a lot of money is actually kind of flowing through altcoins right now. And I don't need to tell you guys that. Just look at the total 2 or the altcoin market cap. We are seeing a lot of volume flow in right now. That is because people are taking some profit probably from Bitcoin, flowing it into the altcoins. And I think that we're going to continue to see this for a little bit of time until Bitcoin really gets a lot more strength in it. That's when we will see that volume influx on this chart. But overall, when we're talking about what's happening, this is where we want to be. This is what alt season is all about. Ethereum looks like it's in a perfect cup and handle formation. Again, this is a bullish formation. We are going to retest this all-time high fairly soon, in my opinion. Most likely by either the end of the month or in the first half of November. A lot of this market is going to move in a cohesive fashion, but a lot of things are playing perfectly into the alt season money flow, and I think that it is only a matter of time before we do see a lot of our altcoins like HBAR and XRP hit some nice parabolic tops. Now, am I expecting a pullback throughout the market? Not technically, right? I've always said that we're waiting for a nice little pullback on Bitcoin, and trust me, I think that we could see a little bit of a correction going into next week, especially considering all this Evergrande stuff. We also see, people like Elon Musk tweeting out and stuff like that, which of course causes panic. People trade the stupidest stuff in this market, but overall, I'm still bullish on crypto. I'm still very bullish on, the long-term aspect, which is around the November-December timeframe, even including January, possibly, if we could get that little bit of a lengthening cycle. Of course, I'm going to trade what the market is telling me, but overall, with HBAR and XRP, these look extremely bullish. I think XRP could easily see $13 this bull run. HBAR, I still think that we could see $3 to $6 conservative with higher targets if we do get a massive blow off top on Bitcoin to like 200K plus. I'm just not expecting it, but hey, it is what it is. I'd love to be proven wrong. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. If you guys do want more content like my exit strategies, all that kind of stuff, you guys can check out NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, guys, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. That's been Nick. Peace out, guys.